Hi, I'm Norm Abram. Welcome to the new Yankee Workshop. We have a couple of problems here at the workshop. We're going to build an assembly table and a rolling clamp cart. That's next right here in the new Yankee Workshop.
Not a lot of reality shows get the fame that was written for the new Yankee Workshop. It started off as a regular show, covering some of the best home improvement projects, and it soon became a staple in every household. The show was all the motivation people needed to make stuff they always wanted for their house. The woodworking skills shown in the new Yankee Workshop were so unique that most people never saw them in real life, and this made the show a true sensation. The techniques featured were very traditional, and furniture turned out to be aesthetic and yet of high quality. So people never really thought that they'd ever have to bid farewell to their favourite show. But just like that, it was no more on TV. So let's find out the real reason the new Yankee Workshop ended.
Whenever I do a project like this, I like to make a plywood cutting diagram. That way I get the most out of each sheet. That diagram will be in the plan and it'll help guide you through all the pieces.
The tale of the new Yankee Workshop would be incomplete without Norm Abram. He's the host, carpenter and showrunner of this reality TV project. And under his command, the new Yankee Workshop hasn't just produced 21 seasons, but he's also worked in This Old House, which is another show that's very similar in format to the new Yankee Workshop. Norm Abram is the man of the hour, and he's been in the trade for so long that carpentry has become a cakewalk for him now. He's written several books and articles about carpentry, but the biggest gem that he's come up with is surely his reality show where he displays his talent while also showing how people could make furniture worth hundreds of dollars in just a couple of bucks. Now, would you believe that a small town in Massachusetts paved the path for one of the biggest home improvement shows? Abram was born and brought up in Massachusetts, and he saw his father as an expert in his field, so he got a lot of inspiration from him since childhood. His father was also a carpenter, and he was the master of his trade. So Abram also used to help him during summer vacations, and before he knew it, he developed a love for physical labor so much that even after he became an engineer, he couldn't skip going to his woodworking workshop. So when he got his degree in engineering, he didn't jump to the roof and laid low, as he didn't want to do it for a full-time career. He soon decided to do something with his talent, and gave an interview in a multi-million-dollar firm who quickly hired him based on his knowledge and experience. He even became a supervisor at that firm, but had to leave because he wanted to move forward in his career and the 9-to-5 job was holding him back. So he started his own firm, and his first few orders went great, which helped his business truly take off. Abram soon got a job to work on the house of a big producer, and he got so impressed by Abram's work that he offered him to renovate another house and recorded the whole process. This was what started This Old House. Once the show ended, it was when Abram thought about coming back with a banger and started the spin-off of This Old House called the New Yankee Workshop. And this show got so much love that it continued for 21 whole seasons. Just when the new Yankee Workshop reached its peak, reports emerged that Abram might be giving less time to the show, as he's also working on some private projects and is quite busy with his personal life too. The reports turned out to be true, as Abram started spending less and less time on the set of the show, and the rumours of creators trying to find a replacement were swirling around. But as soon as the news surfaced, fans started criticising it, and the show faced huge backlash, so they knew they couldn't replace Abram, as he's been running the show for years now, and the audiences won't accept anyone except for him. But Abram had to take the time off and focus on his life, because let's be honest, the guy would probably be tired by now after hosting 2 shows and more than 20 seasons. The producers soon realised that it might not be the best idea to look for replacements, as it would affect the credibility of the show and the ratings would drop too. People would keep on comparing Abram with the new host, and a smooth transition from one host to another only sounds like a dream. Besides, they didn't want to get involved in further controversies, as people were also raising questions about why Abram had to leave and if something had happened on the set. Abram couldn't spare any more time for the show with the family, and offered to pour in as he was becoming the next big thing in the world of flipping and renovations. So it was only fair for him to take a break, or in easier words, quit the show. Although Abram is not done with woodworking yet and still takes up odd jobs to hone his skills. Abram probably has all the house building tools in the world, so he's obviously using them somewhere. Now, it won't be wrong if we consider the end of the new Yankee Workshop the end of an era, because the show has been an absolute favourite of everyone from boomers to millennials to Gen Z. And now that Abram doesn't have a lot of time or energy to continue working on the show, the producers are calling it quits. Abram hasn't said much about his future plans, so there's a small hope that he might come back someday and get his woodworking throne. But that's just a hope, and as of now, Abram doesn't plan on coming back to the show and he'll be focusing on his solo career. The producer of the show also had some thoughts about it when he said Abram would surely be seen on the internet in the future, but they're still not sure if it would be this show or some other. Besides, the creators of the new Yankee Workshop are posting regular clips from the show just to give a taste of skills to the young audiences who are into DIYs but don't know much about woodworking and flipping. So even though the show is not airing anymore, you can still find dozens of clips online for diverse projects. This is keeping the fan favourite show alive and bringing nostalgic memories to the people who used to follow the show closely. The producer also answered rumours that were swirling around where people said that the viewership of the show decreased and that's why it had to end. Some people believe that the audience that watches these shows just aren't interested anymore and woodworking is a dying skill, which is why the new Yankee Workshop had to be cancelled. But the reality is far from it. The creator of the show revealed that building things is human nature, so it won't just disappear in thin air and that the show is still very loved across the globe. The only reason they were shutting it down was because Abram wasn't available to host it anymore and they can't possibly think about replacing him. Abram is still working on the old house, which has confused some of the fans, but the producer of the show also revealed that the old house has a rather simple format and Abram doesn't have to put as much effort in it so he doesn't get exhausted. But the new Yankee Workshop was completely opposite to this, and that's why he decided to step back. The creators also denied all the rumours that were surfacing on the internet about a possible feud between Abram and the creators, because after working on the show for decades, why would he suddenly want to leave? But they made it clear there were no harsh feelings between them. They even respected Abram for calling it quit after realising that he won't be able to do justice with his work if he continues down the same path. The show has been free from all kinds of controversies, and although a lot of people throw shade at Abram for his conduct on the show, he's probably one of the most genuine people on a reality show. The worst part is that we didn't really get to say a proper goodbye to the show, as there was no fight or big controversy that got dragged on for months, after which the host was let go. In this reality show, things were a little too real. But it's not a permanent goodbye, not until the new Yankee Workshop space is permanently closed. Yes, you heard it right. The workshop where Abram used to spend hours is still in perfect condition and is fully functional. The creators of the show are going to keep it that way. In fact, all the tools and machines are kept securely right where they were. It's so just in case Abram decides to come back again and we get to see another season of the fan favourite reality show.